Welcome to a battlefield of minds. Two grandmasters face off where every move cuts like a sword. One mistake, and it's over. This isn't just chess, it's war disguised as strategy. Let's dive in, move by move, into this epic clash. Wesley So opens with d4, a calm yet menacing central thrust, staking space immediately and inviting Magnus Carlsen into a deep strategic duel. Magnus Carlsen answers with nf6, developing flexibly, eyes sharp, signaling readiness to contest the center, without revealing his full intentions yet. Wesley So continues with nf3, reinforcing central control and preparing harmonious development, his army lining up with quiet but dangerous coordination. Magnus Carlsen fianchettos with g6, shaping a king's Indian structure, dark squares whispering long-term pressure and counter-attacking ambitions. Wesley So plays nbd2, a modest-looking move that solidifies the center and keeps multiple plans alive, patient and deceptively flexible. Magnus Carlsen responds with d6, fortifying f5 and preparing a resilient pawn chain, the battlefield slowly taking shape. Wesley So strikes with e4, boldly occupying the center, challenging black to react as tension sparks across the central files. Magnus Carlsen develops b7, the bishop slicing the long diagonal, a sniper aimed straight at white's central heart. Wesley So calmly develops bd3, supporting fr and hinting at kingside safety while keeping attacking ideas simmering beneath the surface. Magnus Carlsen castles kingside, securing his monarch early, trusting structure and piece activity to handle coming storms. Wesley So castles king safe, rook activated, the opening phase smoothly transitioning toward richer middlegame complexity. Magnus Carlsen plays n6, adding pressure on d4 and e5, pieces coordinating like clockwork under quiet tension. Wesley So places re-on, reinforcing fr and preparing potential central breaks, every piece speaking the same strategic language. Magnus Carlsen challenges immediately with e5, striking the center head-on, tension rising as pawns collide like shields. Wesley So supports with c3, strengthening d4 and preparing a flexible pawn structure, calm before impending complications. Magnus Carlsen jumps nf5, an aggressive knight maneuver, aiming at fr and provoking potential weaknesses. Wesley So replies nc4, centralizing the knight, hitting a5 and 6, subtly increasing pressure across black's camp. Magnus Carlsen pins with bg4, freezing the knight, adding tactical bite and psychological pressure to the position. Wesley So captures dx5, opening lines decisively, signaling readiness to calculate deeply and accept confrontation. Magnus Carlsen recaptures nc5, restoring material balance, knight centralized, tactics flashing beneath the surface. Wesley So trades with nc5, simplifying, but also luring black into structural decisions, precision over bravado. Magnus Carlsen answers dsf5, pawns reshape the center, dynamic imbalance created, the middle game officially ignited. Wesley So plays h3, questioning the pinning bishop, gaining luft and forcing black to clarify intentions. Magnus Carlsen retreats B7, regrouping calmly, maintaining solidity without conceding long-term prospects. Wesley So activates BC4, eyeing F7, increasing kingside pressure with classical attacking geometry. Magnus Carlsen defends with QE7, connecting rooks and guarding key squares, cool under growing heat. Wesley So pins again with BG5, adding discomfort, forcing black pieces into defensive coordination. Magnus Carlsen responds BF6, breaking the pin, trading tension for stability, choosing pragmatism over drama. Wesley So repositions B3, reinforcing central control and preparing queenside expansion with quiet confidence. Magnus Carlsen plays B6, preparing B7, solidifying dark squares and expanding cautiously on the queenside. Wesley So advances A4, gaining space and hinting at queenside pressure. A slow squeeze begins. Magnus Carlsen mirrors with F5, locking the structure, reducing flank volatility, choosing control over chaos. Wesley So steps Cart2, sidestepping checks and improving king's safety, subtle but deeply prophylactic. Magnus Carlsen centralizes with Rad8, rook to the open file, preparing central counterplay. Wesley So plays QA2, connecting rooks, reinforcing F4, and keeping attacking options flexible. Magnus Carlsen retreats BG7, reorganizing the bishop, maintaining diagonal influence patiently. Wesley So pushes G3, solidifying dark squares and preparing potential kingside expansion without rushing. Magnus Carlsen tucks Kite, calmly improving king's safety, anticipating future checks and sacrifices. Wesley So centralizes KJ2O, connecting king and rook, preparing for a complex middle game grind. Magnus Carlsen activates B6, pressuring E4 and asserting long diagonal dominance aggressively. Wesley So pins again with BG5, provoking weaknesses, tension thickening like smoke before explosion. Magnus Carlsen strikes F6, challenging the pin directly, the position crackling with tactical electricity. Wesley So retreats BD2, preserving the bishop pair and maintaining structural harmony. Magnus Carlsen lunges S5, aggressive pawn thrust, declaring counterattack without hesitation. Wesley So jumps N5, a knight leap toward the king, alarms ringing loudly across black's defenses. Magnus Carlsen replies H6, asking the knight questions, buying space and time under pressure. Wesley So finds N6, a powerful outpost, pieces suddenly swarming dangerously near black's king. Magnus Carlsen captures Bx, a tactical counterpunch, trading bishop for activity and checking white's king. Wesley So steps Cart2, composed under fire, keeping attacking momentum alive. Magnus Carlsen retreats B8, bishop repositioned, defending long diagonal while regrouping forces. Wesley So sacrifices with NX fight, a thunderous blow, material traded for initiative and king exposure. Magnus Carlsen forced RX fight, accepting the sacrifice, position now razor-sharp and unforgiving. Wesley So brings Radon, piling pressure centrally, rooks roaring onto open files. Magnus Carlsen pushes forward, closing lines and launching a dangerous pawn storm forward. Wesley So counters with g4, fearless aggression, kingside exploding into tactical chaos. Magnus Carlsen advances f3, a spear toward white's king, tension at maximum. Wesley So calmly plays q3, defending, attacking, multitasking with cold precision. Magnus Carlsen pushes fr, space gained, lines opened, but risks growing dangerously. Wesley So captures gxf5, removing a key attacker, tactical clarity emerging from chaos. Magnus Carlsen checks with b5e, forcing king movement, last attempts to seize initiative. Wesley So steps corner, king safe, attack fully under control. Magnus Carlsen plays b4, pressing forward, but the energy feels fleeting now. Wesley So checks qd4e, citing tempo, turning defense into a lethal counterstrike. Magnus Carlsen blocks with b5, forced, pieces tied down awkwardly. Wesley So repeats qf3, cool-headed, tightening the noose, methodically. Magnus Carlsen returns b4, hoping for repetition or miracle chances. Wesley So checks again, qd4 l2, relentless, confidence absolute. Magnus Carlsen interposes b5 once more, position collapsing under repetition pressure. Wesley So breaks through with rxe4, exchange sacrifice, position exploding decisively in white's favor. Magnus Carlsen forced bx4, material shifts, but defense crumbles irreversibly. Wesley So recaptures qz4, queen centralized, total domination achieved. Magnus Carlsen plays r8, last defensive gesture, but fate is sealed. Wesley So captures qsej6, removing defenders, mate threat unavoidable. Magnus Carlsen blocks with rd6, a desperate final stand. Wesley So delivers qj8 a crushing checkmate, king trapped, crowd roaring as Magnus Carlsen falls to a brilliant attack. The video ends here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thank you again, everyone. See you in the next video.